Good morning, everyone. So today's project is getting some exhaust on the Volkswagen Jetta. As you saw probably one of the previous videos, the exhaust is pretty tender. There's some brackets that are rotted right off right here. We found some exhaust on eBay. We'll show you what we got. We're going to go ahead and take the Sawzall and cut this old exhaust out, and we're going to get the new exhaust in. Not sure if we'll have to do any welding, how it's all going to fit. The exhaust was fairly pricey anywhere else. We found some pretty reasonably priced on eBay, so we're going to see. I'm going to spin you around and show you what we have for exhaust here. Hold on one second. Okay, so on this Volkswagen there's a lot of moving parts. There's this resonator up front, there's another resonator here, and then there's a muffler. And that's catalytic converters up even further. So we've got all three pieces. Two of these, this piece and this piece, are actually stainless. This one is not. Again, come off eBay, so we'll see. We're going to go ahead and get the Sawzall, get set up, cut all this exhaust out, and we'll see how the new stuff fits in. Alright, we'll see how this goes. All we can find is a short blade for our Sawzall. We may have to go digging a little deeper. We're going to go ahead and try to cut this off up here in front of the resonator real close. Probably chop it again right about here, just to try to make it easy to get out. And we may have to make one more cut right in here. Like I say, it's kind of woven around here. We'll show you when we put the new one in. So this has a lot of these little rubber holders, and we're just going to use our channel locks and pop them off over. They do make a special tool for this. We do not have one. Might be a pretty handy tool to have. And as I mentioned, it's a pretty tight fit up through here. So we're gonna keep monkeying with this. We'll get this old one out of here and we'll bring you back and show you how we put the new one in. So right up in here, we have a connector that broke off back a long time ago, and we kind of makeshift a coupler over it. So we've got to cut all this stuff off and get it out of here. We're gonna have to run to the auto parts store and get a couple couplings and some clamps, but we want to get everything sort of fit in place to see what we're missing, what we're not missing. So we're going to grab the torches and we're going to get rid of all of this stuff here so that we can start on a new one. And I suspect if you didn't have torches, you could use cut-off wheel and a grinder, you know, virtually anything. When you're cutting, you want to have a nice little blue flame coming out about 1/4 inch, enough oxygen to do your cutting. So this is the piece that Volkswagen had in there. And you know, it still doesn't look that bad actually. I think if we can find a couple clamps, we'll be in good shape. So we're going to go ahead, slide that right back on there. And it is a little heavy. There we go. Now we can start the reassembly process. And they do make little stands you can put under this. I don't happen to have any. I'm probably going to go get a block of wood and put under here, and this has got mounts on it, and try to get everything stabilized. So hold on while we get a few pieces and parts, and we'll be right back. All right, so we've got that blocked up about where we want it. We're going to start working our way backwards and putting this together. So we're going to spin you around so you can watch. Try not to make you seasick. So now we get the reverse. We've got these little rubber hangers that we have to get hooked on. And usually going on is a lot easier than coming off. And if you're having a hard time with them, you could put a little dab of WD-40 or something on there to hold them. So I'm pretty happy with all of that. We're going to see if we can fit our muffler up in here now, which comes back in and hangs on this hanger and connects on there. Well, muffler may be the wrong term. I'm not sure. I think that's a resonator, this is a resonator, and then the last piece we're putting on will be the muffler. Alright, so now we have another one of those hangers right here. You probably can't see. I'll get you spun around here in just a second. So I get another hanger right up in here. And this is where it starts getting a little bit more interesting, getting everything lined up. I feel like that hanger is actually bent. Probably going to end up having to straighten that. All right, so we're making some more progress. Getting things sort of fit in. You know, at some point when we start to clamp things, we have to make sure things don't beat against any of the metal. It's a little tight right here. I'm thinking we may be able to, as we get the muffler in, it'll pull over like that. So we're gonna see if we can get the muffler set up in there. We'll get you repositioned so you can see what we're doing, and we'll get that set up in there. It's a little hard to see, but the resonator is right here. The muffler is going to go up in there. We're just going to see first what it looks like. And boy, it looks pretty good. I believe we're going to have to find a coupling because they're the same size pipe and it's not long enough to get there. But they look pretty good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have to make a run to our auto parts store and get some pieces and parts. And we're probably going to end up putting some self-tapping screws into these heat shields. You'll notice this heat shield here, it's all corroded and falling apart. So hang on while we get some parts. At the magic of time, we should be right back.
Alright, so as you can see, we decided not to go to the auto parts store. We decided to use our Miller MIG welder instead. The main reason for this is just the fitment of the pipes. The muffler and the resonator did not fit well together. The angles were different. And, you know, that's not a surprise being different manufacturers, something off eBay. So we decided just to weld everything together. What we're doing right here is welding the two resonators together. And, you know, then we'll go on and weld the resonator to the muffler. I like to weld these just because it's a little weird how these hang. They both hang on hangers on the left hand side and it puts some weird strains on things. So we're just going to finish welding this up and then we'll come on back and show you welding the next joint together here in just a second.
Alright, sorry about the voiceover there. Forgot to turn on the mic. So we're going to weld up the second piece of this right here. It's up in here. You probably won't be able to see it real well, but we're just going to go ahead and get that done. We're using our auto darken helmet. I really like that for doing exhaust. Much easier to see what you're doing. Not have to try to, you know, flip your mask down or hold something in front of your face. And you'll notice I stop and start a lot, and that's to keep the heat down. We could probably go to a smaller wire, you know, and whatnot, but I'm using an 030 wire with the argon gas. I have pretty good luck just stopping and starting and stitching it together. Alright, so we've gone ahead and welded that up. There's the Miller we use. It's a Miller-Matic 150. Runs on 230 volts, takes the gas. It's an older welder, but it works really well. You'll see here, we got the hanger in up here. Mufflers fit up in there. We don't have any rattles. You'll see we vibrate it. Nothing's rattling. This is the, see if we can get you to see up in there, right up in there. That's the connection I was talking about. Didn't fit, at all to speak of. The angles are different on the two pipes, and that doesn't really surprise me because of the manufacturers. One's different than the other. We welded that joint up. We got the hangers up in there. This hanger here was the one I was talking about was bent. I had to actually straighten it back out quite a bit to get it in there, but you'll notice even that's not hitting up in there. It's got room up in there. Come up through, we got our hangers in right here, and this is that connection I was telling about that Volkswagen had sort of like a band clamp almost, and it rotted out. So we have to tighten up these two muffler clamps, and we're pretty much good to go. So we're going to go ahead and get a 9/16 on the impact, and we're going to give that a few ooga-doogas, and then we'll take our block of wood out, and we should be done. So hold on while we get that impact, and we'll get this done. All right, so this is all we got left to do is tighten this up and take that out. So we're going to go ahead and wind those clamps up with our impact. That should do it. We're going to go ahead and take this block of wood out of here now, if we can get it out. Nice and solid, no rattles. So we're going to go ahead, move our tools out of the way, let this down, start it up, make sure there's no big leaks, and that should wrap this project up. So hold on while we get things cleaned up and get this thing back on the ground. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start it up and see what it sounds like. I think that's going to work. So thank you for watching. Any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.